Greetings, it's Vaygrim, back again with another episode of Resonant Rise. So, a couple of my other server mates are exploring, while I am here on my small island, tropical island. I have replaced some of the trees with palm trees. I did have some livestock that was on that island. I moved over to this one. But they've all disappeared. I think they have been running into the cactus and killing themselves. I'm not sure about that. They've all just kind of vanished otherwise. No evidence to the contrary. I'm going to check. Nope, no mail. We go into our island base. Or is it? So I still have the smeltery up here, and I've been making great use of it. And the smeltery tables, the tinker tables, are downstairs, but otherwise, it looks like we've been robbed of all our machinery, even though we technically haven't. What's actually going on is that I have moved into the volcano base now, and I want to show you guys that for sure. We will circle back around to these plants soon enough. Basically, we have been doing some development and some work. One thing for sure, one thing is I have a tunnel using a minecart in our cheaty little redstone inlay, and basically it takes you straight into the volcano itself. Now, right here, we have the Nether Hub. I'm going to step into that real quick. We can see what's going on. Here we go. This is a real simple hub. It's a starter hub, basically. Everyone has their own little nook. Poppycox, Pokefen, Echo, myself. Sace hasn't been joined up to the hub yet. He's still getting settled in and still getting space built out. There's Nintendo Fan, Joshi. He's the developer of Mariculture. Koryanshe. He has got an LP series. I believe Poppycox does. Pokefen does. And Pokefen is the actual developer of Totemic. Of course, Echo and myself do. That is actually my nether portal, because this is basically in my section of the nether. I'm the one who set it up. We've initially started doing simple trade chests. This is mine. I chock it full of things that I have that are extra or spare. I can always supply tons of fish, tons of coral, basalt, even abyssal stone if I want to, salt, the whole 9 yards. So, even some really good books. So basically, I have right here a book of what I can provide and what I need. Like, I always need wood. Always need wood. So, I've been doing trades for food and for other supplies, pearls, in order to get wood. And it works out really, really well. So, you take that book and it zaps you straight back to where you left. Right in my old base under the island. Now, if we take our nifty little ride here, we're going to zip over here and basically get ourselves settled into the base itself. These are armor stands. I did have some Choco Quest dummies here, but I swapped them out because they were creeping me out. We have a couple of different sets of armor. This was my original set of armor that I made while I was still coming up through. This is kind of the one that I've been wearing for the most part. My free runners and this really horrible helmet that Poppycox got me. This is from Chocolate Quest, some of the dungeons that are included in the mod pack now. And it adds 5 hearts to my health and doubles my damage output. The only problem is it looks horrible in the process. Yeah, it's downright hideous. You can see right there. It's supposed to be a dragon's head. I don't know. Anyway, my free runners from Mechanism, those eliminate fall damage and give me a, most fall damage, and give me a step assist, which is very, very nice for getting around the terrain. This is the community chest, the general swap community chest, triple white. That's what we did on the last server. My general array of machines, not much has changed. Now, you're going to see things a little bit out of order because I will admit I'm having to reshoot this because the footage that I shot earlier in the week for this segment got corrupted. I shot it on the same day that I was shooting footage for Vaygrim's Chance, and I had a couple of pieces of footage for that series and a couple of pieces of footage for this go bad. All recorded on the same day. I still don't know why to this actual day. So these aren't here later in the episode. Then they'll be back again. It's kind of weird. Anyway, we've been getting settled in really, really well. The middle floor has basically become the primary work floor, and everything connects to it as a central hub. The top floor is all storage now. I'm getting these things, lighting glitch. It is, I'm getting all these things basically sorted out and laid out for the sake of logistics pipes. I'm thinking about using logistics pipes long term. I think that's going to work real well. So I want to make sure that I can get pipes behind these things for the sake of the logistics pipes themselves. I'll have to relocate these also. But that's what I'm thinking of. This is all storage. And then basically the bottom floor, there's my lounging chair. More on that later. We have the main power system. We have a good supply of fish. I actually think I'm going to turn this back on and start pushing fish out to, stack at a time, out to the generators. These are culinary generators from Extra Utilities. These basically hold about 500,000 RF and redstone flux. They put out about 40 RF per tick, each one. And I have 10 of them chained up right here in a row. Basically, I have item conduits going along this corner and Ender IO power conduits going along this corner, and they lead into this. Now, this is already full. This is a hardened? No. It's just a redstone energy cell, yeah. In out of 2,000 RF per tick, it's got a 10 million RF total capacity, plus about 5 million RF right there between those things, and you'll see some of these are starting to fill up. You can look at the Wayla at the top middle of my screen. Some of these are getting fish, and they are actually starting to fill up right now. I'm not sure how fast they're going to fill up. We'll see. So, I still have the heat generators. There's 4 in that and 4 in that, and those things do okay. But we're going to have to start getting some real power sources soon. This is only going to get us so far, so to speak. I've got 4 fish traps now supplying this and still bringing in a pretty steady supply of enchanted books. I've got bows, fishing poles, leather boots. I don't know what I'm going to do with those. Plus some other things that we get. And this is just the extra overflow just in case, because I don't want the whole system backed up. I put this here because I discovered basically a redstone flux is the fastest unupgraded furnace for cooking food. It does it faster than all other ones. I don't know why, but that's one perk of the redstone furnace from thermal expansion. No upgrades, because you can't upgrade it, but it is actually very, very fast for cooking food inherently. So, I'm using that right here to make sure we go from raw fish to cooked fish on this, because cooked fish are more nourishing, and the more nourishing the food, the better it does in the generators. So, yeah, okay. So, it's been a number of hours since I last spoke to you. I've got my observation chair here to look out onto my aquatic domain. I made a pair of nice tables to bracket it. I thought it was very, I don't know, Bond villain style, you know? As Aiko has told me, now I just need a pet ocelot to sit right there. One recent addition that I've made to both sides here are stairways down into the new dive room. I've got 2 sets of fully pressurized gas masks and scuba tanks from Mechanism. That is a tank of spare oxygen. I could be nefarious and put hydrogen, but I would have to use that also, and I don't want to breathe that. This is my dive suit on an armor stand from Bibliocraft. I like these armor stands better than the Chococraft ones. They don't stare at you. It's just creepy. And these are much easier to deal with. You can take off specific parts or put on specific parts. So yeah, I've got, before I forget, I need my handy dandy bucket. Now, there is a chair on each side. I figured the diver would have to sit down and changed. But I've got some safety signs. This is basically a moon pool room, I think is what they're sometimes called. I call it the dive room. So strange. So, now I've got this entrance out the front bottom of the volcano itself under the glass observation window. So I can go in and come out right through there. Now, this is the science wing. I have put a layer of flooring underneath, and there's a little bit of space in there to run conduits and wires. So we actually have power in that room now. What I've done is I run power conduits from Ender IO out. There's a battery right here, one of my old ones from inside the base. That connects to the lab itself. So we actually have power to this wing of the base. Now what I've come out here to do, well, first of all, is not drowned. There we go. Is put... I think I want to do something like this. We're kind of waiting for the upgrade to Domcraft 4.1 because everybody's sick of the upgrading system. Or the researching system. Nobody wants to do it anymore. So we keep trying to nominate somebody else to do it, and they don't want to. For valid reasons. After you've done that 4 or 5 times, nobody wants to do it anymore. So you know, it's one of those very interesting things when you are a YouTuber or a Let's Player and you are restarting on a regular basis. Domcraft 4 research isn't fun, and I'm not sure if this is one of the things that Asinor realized when he did the update, or what. But, needless to say, we are very eager for the possibility of getting that 4.1 update specifically because it will make researching so much easier. There's also a lot of new quality of life content that's going to come in to play. So yeah, I wanted to come up here and put that on, make it look like that glass is really being held down tight. I can get down through the moon roof. I mean, back through the dive pool now. I also wanted to show you guys, I got a pearl farm going on over here. These are oysters. Now, these things don't have to be underwater. I'm just being melodramatic about it. But you could put these things on dirt, sand, or whatever, even stone. However, if you get pearls, and catch a breath here. If you get pearls and make a block out of them, a 2x2 pattern in a crafting grid, you can make a pearl block and put it under the oyster. And if you do that, it always produces that color. So I've got orange under that one. I've got blue under that one. Whoops. Red. Yeah, under that one. Now I got another red randomly from one of those. And this is pink, I believe. I got a pink from one of those randomly and a gold. So I would eventually like to get more so I can have one pearl of each color being generated constantly. 7. And what I gotta do is just reseed these. There it is. Make sure I always keep sand in them. There's a couple of the guys on the server that like swinging by and using my oyster farm. So they make sure they always leave sand in them, just like I always do. So I've got my dedicated dive suit that I like leaving there, mostly because I don't want it to get too damaged. I've got a bucket in that chest so I don't forget mine from upstairs. And I even have another suit that is enchanted, just like mine, over there for another guest. And a bucket if they want to use that one, or we could both use these systems. So yeah, it's very, very nice. I like having the dive room. Now, if we go up a floor and go over here, I've got these pressure plates down so that these get closed off after I go through. And there we go. That looks like a really solidly braced and reinforced pressurized roof. And we've got power over here embedded in the floor. There is a gap underneath this floor. It's got water in it still. I haven't cleared it out, but I'll worry about it later if I need to. I'm going to start putting machines over here for mad science in coming episodes, and I'm going to start working on that. I think it's going to be a really fun mod to mess with, especially since we have a bit of a harder time breeding our own livestock and cattle. We don't have the space for it just yet. So the next thing I'm going to try and see if I can build, I'm going to go check resources and see if I've got it. I want to build the botany wing for plant growth and for crops. So let me go check resources, see if we can build that before this episode's up. I'll be right back. So, I've got a stockpile going of different kinds of pearls. This is what I was talking about. A pearl block. Like we get the brown one. Mariculture, pearl block, interesting pattern. Looks a lot different than a lot of other blocks. So there's some guides that have an oyster farm of 4 oysters, and they have a pearl block of only one kind of pearl. The same kind under all 4, like white. Poppycock's on the server is it got a oyster farm that's got white blocks and gold blocks underneath some oysters, so he can generate those faster because he wants to make a building with white blocks and gold blocks. I'm just getting a general collection, so to speak. I might start branching out and having all specific oysters to work on. So, let me think. Another thing I've added to the base, I think in the last couple of days since I've talked to you guys, has been this little hatch up here on the actual above water level. I am going to use this space. I'm just not sure what for yet. I've got a smaller floor up here. This is behind the jaw of the skull right there. And I've got this up here, which is actually my bedroom right now. I might leave it here. I'm not sure. Now, I went with the idea that you guys had of encasing this in glass. This is the central lava tube that goes up through the volcano. Now, there is one difficulty that I actually had, and I'll show you. Just close that. If you get down here, as soon as I started getting to the middle of the room, down on this level, and all the levels below it, there was just a single shaft of obsidian. A 1-block shaft straight up of obsidian, a column. And I think that's because it was below water level. I'm not sure. But when I got to digging, some of the areas down here, like the obsidian column, came straight down here, straight down into here. But I've done mining down below this area from the tunnels that I made for mining over on the island. I've come all the way over to under the volcano, and there is a central column with lava, so I'm not sure why only this stretch of it was obsidian already, because it wasn't flooded with water. It was all surrounded by rock. I'm not sure. Let's see. So, let me think. Oh, another recent addition to the island that I made. I've been working on some crops. I have to apologize. I have a little bit of cold still. But I've been working on some crops over here in the original island section. And I have these plants from Magical Crops. It's very interesting. You basically, these are the original plant. Right there, Magical Essence Crop. You'll find ore for this in the nether, and it gives a chance of dropping seeds. If you drop seeds, you can plant them right here, like this, and then basically what you can do, let me see, I have in here somewhere. I'm just going to speed some of these up. Come on. There we go. No, that's it. There we go. There's a fully grown normal one. Okay, so if I break this, I got seeds that I can plant again, plus essence dust. Essence dust you turn into weak essence, and this you can basically combine into a higher level of essence, break it down into a lesser one, or you can combine it with coal, like this, and make coal seeds. Coal seeds produce an essence that you can combine into coal. You can make dye seeds, which does the same thing. Fire seeds, water seeds, you can combine those into source blocks of water and lava, literally. Earth seeds, air, I'm not 100% sure what you do with those, but what you can do, upgrade it. You upgrade it again to this one, and you can make glowstone and redstone plants. You can make obsidian plants, copper and tin, right? Upgrade it again, and you've got the strong essence, which you can then use to make gold and iron seeds, ender seeds, blaze seeds, experience, lapis, etc., etc. So basically, this is a standalone mod version of those little oreberry bushes that you get from Tinker's Construct. The only difference is with this one, you can also get one. Well, actually, it's like oreberry bushes from Tinker's Construct, ender lily seeds from Extra Utilities, and essence berry bushes from Tinker's Construct. It's like all of that rolled into one mod. And some of the guys on the server aren't big on it. They think it's a little cheaty. Me and Aiko are kind of the opinion that we are working with what the pack is giving us, and this is one of the recent additions, so we're going to use it. I have a problem with getting ender seeds regularly, and I can't actually get endermen to spawn on or around my island. There's just not enough land. It's not dark enough. So and I've also not found any ender lily seeds from Extra Utilities. So basically, I've made my own ender lily seeds, and it's a little slower than normal ender lilies, but I have an option. I've also branched out and started glowstone cropping because I don't want to mine out the glowstone from the nether because I'm on a server. I have to think about community now. So it's very, very interesting. It's a new thing, and I'm still kind of figuring it out. There's a lot more that you can do with these seeds. I think if you upgrade it all the way, extreme essence, you can do diamonds. This is the part where I think it gets stupid, okay? This is where I will admit this is kind of dumb. It's game-breaking. Diamond seeds, wither skull seeds, emerald seeds, cobalt seeds, you have platinum, obsidian defender, I'm not sure what that is. Right click for info. Platinum seeds, yeah. Cobblestone voider. Health orb, I think that heals. This is where it starts getting really crazy. This makes sense. This is just a hoe that tills the 3x3 area. Not that big a deal. So once you get up to this top tier, it does start getting up a tad silly. I think diamond seeds and emerald seeds and wither skull seeds, I think that's a bit much. But the lower tiers are basically just like the oreberry bushes from Tinker's Construct. You get a lesser thing you have to then turn into the equivalent of a nugget that you then turn into the full item. And that's about how it works. You get a lot of this. If I break one of these, I'll get some seeds, and I get ender essence. And what I have to do is get that ender essence and turn it into 4 ender pearls. You can turn it into ender portal frame, which I think is kind of weird. And then they have tinted. You can make end stone. That is actually kind of nice because there is a limited amount of stuff with the end. There's a limited amount of end stone in there. It's very hard sometimes when you're on a public server or a populated server of any kind to actually get a lot of that. So it's nice to be able to create it. And you can also create end stone with thermal expansion. So I don't think that's game breaking. These are just decorative bricks down here and decorative blocks. They don't do anything from what I can tell. Tinted glowstone. No big deal. Who cares? That's fine. End portal frame, that's dangerous because once you place an end portal frame, you can't move it. So, I don't know if that's a good idea to have that. You can grief on a server with that real quickly. So, that's magical crops. That was one of the latest things that got added when we patched between last episode and this episode. So, the base is coming along, and I'm hoping that I can get some more infrastructure made between now and the next episode. And there's been a lot of questions about me going to 2 episodes a week. I'm thinking about doing an episode on Monday and an episode on Friday. I'm not sure if that's going to be too much work for me, because I already have 2 episodes of Vaygrim's Chance, and then I have Hot Blocks and Mod Guide, and 1 episode of this. That's basically 5 videos a week. I'm not sure if I can go to 6 or not, but I'm going to look into it and see if I can do it. So, we'll see. There might be Monday episodes of Resonant Rise in the near future. So I think this is going to be a really good wrapping up point. Thank you guys very much for swinging by. I really appreciate you taking an interest in the series. It's been real popular. A lot of you have been curious what I'm going to be able to do with the Bond villain base. And a lot of the guys on the server are curious what I'm doing with it also. They're very, very intrigued by it. So, yeah, it's piquing a lot of imaginations, it seems. So, with a bit of a head cold going on, and I do apologize for that. I probably sound kind of silly. But I'll go ahead and sign off and say thanks for stopping by. Thanks for joining me. And as always, like, share, and definitely comment on what you think about the series so far and the direction it's going. Bye-bye.